our bodies started from the one cell, and the multiplication of that cell built this body. And we can show through high magnification today that that light never ceases. It is transmitted from one cell to the other as this body is built up. It doesn't matter what you think about it or what you say about it, it is established in that vibratory frequency, and it never goes out of that frequency. There is proof of these things today. The eye, one of the greatest things in our body today, is also adjusted. The rods and cones and the retina are so adjusted that they take in that divinity. The moment that we realize that divinity, our eye becomes adjusted to it, and the frequency that it moves for that. And it can be shown that those who have not in any way impaired their sight, that they themselves see that almost immediately by the acceptance that they are divine. I'm going to interrupt this reading right here to say that in the course of the next few series of this, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing. It's not exactly like in my eye. It's like in my eye, but yet in another dimension. Because I've been looking at the light and seeing things when you squint your eyes just ever so slightly and concentrate on looking at the space between things, you can see a whole lot of little squiggly things, and I will be drawing pictures of them. And I will explain what I think it is that I'm seeing. I've been told it was eye floaters, and there are such a things as eye floaters that impair a person's vision. But this is not what that is. It is too extreme to be something like that. Anyway, I don't know what it is exactly. I have my suspicions of what it might be, but I wanted to share with my viewers something about this, and we could have a think tank sort of about it, and maybe you can try some experiments I'm going to suggest to you to see if you can also see this. And the book will explain how that you can see it in the next few series of the reading of this book. It would be nice to have someone that commented on this and that I could have an ongoing experiment with, because nobody in my immediate surroundings wants to talk about anything like this. When I say to my children that I see this, they suggest I could see an eye doctor and get my eyes checked out. Well, I do need to see an eye doctor to get new prescription for glasses, but I don't have any confidence that they would understand what I'm seeing. So I will explain a little of it as this time goes on, but I want to read a little more here from the book in this one, so you get a little of the book here too, besides just me talking. And I will get back to that another time. Now, divinity is God in everything, in every form. The Christ means the power to realize that divinity within. Then don't we see the Christ in every face, in every form? That was one of the very first statements that Jesus made. We find that in our research work. I see the Christ in every face, in every form. When the first child was born, the Christ was born. That is the conquering Christ, the one that conquers, the master of everything. There isn't a person today but what is the master. Now the moment you say that, people begin to look for a master. The moment you look without for the master, you forget all about the master within. And humanity has made the greatest mistake by looking for God or trying to see God. Why? Because you are looking for that which is right within you. And when you pronounce that you are that, you are every time. We can show you that if you will use the word God once in standing before that high magnification, your body will never go back to the same frequency in vibration that it was before you used that one word. Another thing we can show that the word God is so established in a book that that book has a greater eminence because of the presence of that word. We have 3 men who can intone that word to 186 billion vibrations a second. We asked them to go to the 180th parallel, which is the furthest you can get away from Greenwich on this planet. Then at a certain stated time, we arranged this instrument so that it recorded the vibration that they intoned. Just as soon as that frequency came in, the hand went right up to that point. Now, we put the oldest Bible in the Museum of Natural History in London under this instrument. Then we gradually removed that book and slipped in a book in which the word God was not recorded, and the instrument went right back down. Then we took a third book in which the word God was recorded only 3 times, and the instrument responded immediately. Just one word, God, was responsible for this response in frequency. If it will do that to an inanimate thing, what will it do to our body form by the positive use and the acceptance of the word God? With the voices of 3 men intoning the word God at 186 billion vibrations a second, the graph goes across a 30-foot film. Then, with these same men using the word Jehovah, it marked only about 5 inches on that same film. Why? The moment that you use the word God with understanding and belief and knowing, you are setting up the greatest vibration that is known today, and that vibratory influence collects substance. And the moment that you put out your thoughts, a condensation of that substance is yours. And in fact, to put it forth in the right order, you can't keep those things from you. Now that is what belongs to everyone, every good thing that they can use. You set up that vibratory influence, and it manifests here and now. This is a very definite principle that we are working on today, that principle of divinity in everything. This has been proved by our camera taking photographs of past events. We can show that every blade of grass, every tree, every shrub, every flower, every seed is divine. And were it not for that divinity, that seed would not grow, nor the plant, nor the tree. And we can show you definite photography today that that germ in that seed has the exact replica of the form that it will bring forth every time. Then why do we go about saying we don't understand? Isn't it greater to say, I do understand? You do understand. That understanding is right within yourself. You are the master of those things, and by letting go of outer appearances, you master the thing within, accepting and recognizing that you are the master. Many people write and ask if they cannot go to see the masters, or what must they do to see the masters. The moment you step out from yourself with your thought that you wish to see a master, you have lost sight of the master within. When you recognize and become aware of that, you are with the master, and you are with all of them. Now just let someone say, I am not God. Then stop for a moment and take that not out. That is a negative word and has no frequency and vibration whatever. You give it the energy that keeps it living by pronouncing it. And the moment you refuse to pronounce that word, it has no energy of its own. There is a camera that shows you that today. You can actually sit before that camera and make your statement. Don't say a word, but think it, and we will give you your exact thoughts from the graphs shown on the film. When we ask for a statement with a negative word, just to see what happens, and when it comes to that negative word, there is no graph on the film. It simply is not recorded. That camera is showing today the great frequency of vibration of the human form. And if that frequency was not there, we could not get it. And if there were any hypnosis used, it would not record. We have taken over 400 or 500 pictures of the fakers in India. And wherever hypnosis is used, the camera doesn't get it at all.